So that brings me to DJT here, right? As we know, Donald Trump is the president once again. He'll be taking over office next Monday on the 20th, the inauguration with him and his new administration stepping in. So how is that going to shake out with the economy, the whole market, the S&P? Well, to be quite frank, we'll talk about that just in a little bit. DJT here specifically is up 19 near 20% right now. We've been calling this out since the market had opened up. This started to take off pretty quickly. We weren't necessarily expecting for this stock to break out today of all days, but once it started to move up, we ended up just applying our strategy and our logic to the move, and it's worked out pretty much perfectly since. So I would like to go over this stock and what's happened at least thus far, and really what you could expect, what you could think about expecting heading into the later part of this week. So DJT right away took off, as we know, but let me just show you where the big orders were. We ended up having a couple of resistance levels initially here at 37.50. I'm sorry, at $37, pardon me, then at 38. About a 39,000 share sell order here at 37, and then almost of equal size at 38. So more or less, long story short, DJT ended up breaking right over the first iceberg, the first resistance at 37, and ended up running up pretty nicely. I wanted 37 to flip into support and then for this to move up higher later on. This ended up building support. It ended up moving higher later on, but it did not come down to my 37. Not only that, this actually did not even come back down to the VWAP price, the volume weighted average price here. Now, that will lead me to an entry that we ended up focusing in on just a little bit later on today. But this stock ended up continuing to go up and up and up. It broke above resistance here at 40 bucks at the time. And then from there, it finally started to, come back down, make some lower highs here. But point being is that your VWAP here actually became a strong entry level. It took two separate attempts. So it just as easily could have made the bounce instantly right on this initial test. It broke below the VWAP price, broke back above it. This could have been a great entry, but it made a very underwhelming reaction, right? Made a very underwhelming move. So it made lower highs again, came into the VWAP as support, and it broke below it. So this is quite frankly where I'd say right place, wrong time. Take a small loss, take a break even trade, maybe just that, and either move on to another stock. I mean, hey, this did drop back down for a little bit longer. It did break a little bit lower. It didn't go to 38, didn't go to 37, obviously. But point being is that this created a new opportunity at the VWAP price. Just it became resistance for a little while here. And the more times it keeps stabbing and pecking that resistance, especially in a smaller time frame or concentration, it's more prone for it to make that better move. So this was just as good of an attempt as this one first was, just that it gave you the better reaction here, right? The reaction that you wanted here and that you got was really what you wanted to see at first. So, right place, wrong time. And then even now, as you could see, it ended up flipping the next area of resistance, 40 bucks. It flipped that into support here, and then it moved up higher just a moment ago. So, where does that leave us for today? Where does that leave us for throughout this whole week? Today's only Monday the 13th. If you've ever heard the phrase buy the rumor, sell the news, right? There's no rumor here. Trump's president. Whether you like him or don't like him, he is president. The inauguration is on the 20th. Him and his new administration are stepping in. But what I mean by buy the rumor, sell the news is an up and down move, right? Once the news is made official and it's already happened, once the event's already transpired, you tend to see profit taking. You'll see the sell off after. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So obviously, again, Trump is taking over office. Ain't no rumor about it. But this could be the beginning of a sharper squeeze that may not continue into next week, next month, so forth. You might happen to see this, the profit taking or the sell off otherwise by Friday this week, maybe by Tuesday after he's officially in. You might have a red day there where a lot of traders that may be late to the party, they may be saying, well, why isn't it going up? Why isn't it pushing up? Because the move already took place. The move already transpired. It started here today. It is starting, right? We're still making higher lows and testing resistance here at 42. There's a good case for this to get up to 45 by today, by tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Keep in mind, we have some big economic data coming out, the CPI report, the PPI report. And again, the market is closed on Monday the 20th, so we don't have a full trading day there. Just that's where I think that we might happen to see this move take place sooner than later, meaning you might get that profit taking by Friday this week, if not into next week on Tuesday after Trump and the administration have stepped in. So join us inside our live trading room. You see the at Cyber Trading U handle there. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe button. Join us inside our live trading room. Otherwise, we'll be tracking DJT all throughout this given week here.